Drummers Against Implied Timekeeping, Richard D'Albus. I want to talk a little bit about drumsticks, the tools of our art form. I want you to kind of key in on these variables when buying drumsticks. And the reason being, they're expensive. We break them a lot, especially if you're playing a harder style of music. And I want you to know just these ideas after 52 years of playing. What I'm looking for in a drumstick, besides that it rolls perfectly. I've used a lot of different types of sticks, brands. I love them all. I have no particular view one way or another. But if you can, and you're playing lots of styles, you should have a pair of 5As and a pair of 5Bs, which are the standard. I don't want to get into signature models because they have particular things about them, except the ones that I know. But there's so many signature models now. But a pair of 5As, a pair of 5Bs, a pair of 7As for jazz and funk, which are small, light sticks. Thinner sticks. I think I've always liked 2Bs, which are thicker sticks with a 5B tip. 2Bs, any brand, Regal Tip, ProMark, Vader, they are all excellent. I particularly like also 2As, which are longer than average sticks, 16 1/4 in length. Assuming that 16 inches is the standard length and weight. 2As are a remarkable stick. They're thin, but they're a little longer. I think they're great. I also think, for example, that you may not be trying the 707s, which are rock type of sticks with a round bead. The ProMark 747s are very good sticks. Now there is a downside to the 747s and the 707s and the 808s. As you wear them out on the rims, with rim shots in the middle, they are not as good because they're top heavy sticks. So I tend to lean away from 747 sticks because they wear out in a weird way. This is something I would have never expected 40, 50 plus years ago. How sticks wear out as you're using them. Depending if you have tons of money, you can have one particular type, great. But sticks wear out differently because of their sizes and weight and various other things. But I do recall that. I happen to like, let's say, Zildjian Absolute Rock or the ProMark rock sticks where they're just 2 butt ends. Those are very good balanced sticks. You can spin them and throw them easier. But as they wear out in the center, as with your rim shots, they don't hold up well. At first, when they're new, they're good, but I don't like them as they wear out. Now, about 15 years ago, ProMark made a hickory stick called a DC-10 with no tip, this thing. And it is a club, basically. It's a little shorter than average, a little less than 16 inches, with no tip. Terrible on heads, because it ruins heads. But someone gave me 3 pairs of these for nothing, and I held them in my stick bag for 10 years, 15 years. But amazingly, as they wear out in the center, as you can see, they get better. So you get this thick club in your hands. But they're balanced and they wear out really well. Whereas the 747s or the Absolute Rock Zildjians with 2 butt ends do not. You see, this tapers. So it has 2 butt ends, but this butt end tapers. I would have never expected that. I don't think they make them anymore. ProMark DC-10s. All of a sudden, I looked them up. They don't have them anymore. You should have a pair of these. Hot rods, depending on what you're doing, they're fantastic. You got to use them, they're great. And you should also have hard mallet for rolling on cymbals and toms and various things. You gotta have that in your stick bag, definitely. But other sticks that come to mind that I think are, useful sticks that you should, just try them out a little bit are the Gavin Harrison stick. The only problem I have with sticks with the new rubber handles is they're not good if you have sweaty hands. They cause blisters right away. So it depends on the drummer and the person, but as you perspire, sweaty hands with that rubber on the handle causes a lot of issues with blistering. So I'm somewhat against it. You should just have wood. You shouldn't have that handle if you could avoid it. But if you don't perspire much, that'd be pretty good, I guess. There are also new sticks that have a taper in the center of the stick for better stability of handling and weight dispersion. And those are good too. Tree-lock Gertu sticks come to mind. But again, they're a little bit weaker in the center, and I don't think they last as long. I like the Dave Weckl stick. I like the Steve Gadd stick, of course. But they're for lighter playing. Anything where you're whacking, where you're going to need the butt ends, for wood's sake, you're playing heavy rock every night, you need wood, because the wood's chipping away while you're bashing on the drums. So just keep this in mind. 5As and 5Bs are the standard sticks, but as you venture out in different directions with the 7As or the 2Bs or these things I like 2As and all the variables in between, just understand, have a variation of sticks and think in terms as the stick wears out. That's something I want to tell drummers about that you would not think of. As they wear out, some sticks hold up really well. They get better as they wear out, like these DC-10s. But the Absolute Rock or the two butt end sticks that companies make, they don't wear out well, especially when you're chewing at the middle with rim shots. And that's something you would need to know when you're spending, $10, $12 for a good stick. And then I want to give a special hats off, personally, to my favorite stick ever. And that's the Buddy Rich signature stick by Vic Firth. When this came out in the early 90s, I was playing punk at its peak. It was just post-punk stuff. And I love that stick to this day. The Buddy Rich signature model stick by Vic Firth. It is I think, most expensive stick. And they're tremendous sticks. But unfortunately, they have drawbacks. They wear out. But as a stick to hold and play, and I don't know if Buddy Rich really played these sticks. I'm not sure of that. I don't know. But I love them. And I want you to know them. Please if you can, get a pair of Buddy Rich signature sticks from Vic Firth. Those are fantastic sticks. But they have drawbacks. But as the feel of them with the tip, the way it is, are very slappy, or what is the best way I can describe it. The thicker model sticks, as these 2Bs I mentioned, they have a lot of good attributes because there's a lot of wood to get through. And they wear out well if you don't break the tips or something. They wear well because you're dealing with more wood to get through. So think in terms of that, all right? So try how to have a variety of sticks, mallets, hot rods, and a lighter pair of sticks. Even if you're playing heavy music, a lighter pair of sticks. The moderate sticks that you may use, the signature models you may like, and think in terms of how they wear out, all right? If you have any questions particularly, and sticks that you're using that I don't know about, I'd love to hear from you, all right? I'll leave my PayPal account in the box below. Anything you can do to support me and the things that I do, I thank you. Welcome everyone. Please take the time to see what I'm teaching in the open-handed position, and if you haven't, subscribe. Thank you for that always, all right? So this is just sticks. What to think about when you're buying sticks. Think long term. I mean, you may have lots of money to spend on heads and sticks, but a lot of drummers, they may not. And you have to think in what's the most effective stick that wears well. All right, think in terms of that. thinking. All right? My best to you always, and I'll let you know what I'm up to. Take care.